And welcome everybody to episode 2.
2 already?
We got to 2, and we got past 1. Episode 2 of...
Man, that really snuck up, didn't it?
It did. Of the horror
I mean, I guess that's the
cast.
natural progression. You have 1, and then you have 2.
We could have done 1.5.
That's true.
Anyways, I'm Barry Morgan.
I'm Andy Majorano.
And thank you so much for being with us for our second episode. You know, I forgot to mention this on...
Part 2.
The first one, but we do have our social media going. It's been going for a while. On Twitter and Instagram, our handle is @TheHorrorGeeks. On Facebook, it's The Horror Geeks. I'm sure I'll probably put up a little thing on the bottom there that gives you...
Right above Rizzo's head here.
Right above Rizzo's head. Gives you...
Or Baby Jason's head.
That information. Now, as a real quick update on the show, the real show, not that this isn't real.
Yeah, why are you quoting it? Does that mean it's not real?
But the Horror Geeks that we want to do as a TV show,
right.
There's no real updates. We're still knocking on doors and haggling producers on the street and sending off emails. Now, Andy has thought about resorting to human sacrifice, but I've held him back. We haven't got that far yet.
Can't believe you stopped me. I think it would have worked.
So there's one thing that we can't ignore. We had that, what I can only describe as gizmo thing, like, come through the door. Now, Andy, I apologize for this, but I didn't tell you that in the past I've had some occurrences here in this apartment.
Okay, like more gizmos or like more like regular gremlins? Like other monsters?
Not exactly. Let me show you some footage. This one night I set up a couple cameras to see if I could catch anything, and this is what happened.
So you knew about this?
Just watch. I'm telling you, like, the occurrences have slowed down.
Slowed down, like how often? Like, what are the intervals? Like, what is...
Well,
what
nothing's really happened until we started doing this show.
I'm a little, like, concerned. But I'm just had a thought that if we do indeed catch more of these paranormal activities on tape, we could probably actually just use that to raise money, right?
Well, maybe we could.
Proof of life after death or something, you know? It's got to be worth something.
Maybe we could. You're always trying to work a side angle.
Well, I mean, you have to in this business. It's Hollywood. You got to have an angle. You have to have something different than everybody else. I mean, you have ghosts in your house. You have gremlins coming out of your doors. You've got the others in your living room and your kitchen. I mean, this is crazy. We should just shut this all down right now and just start ghost hunting. That's my 2 cents.
Well, I would rather you introduce a new part of the show, or rather, I should say, a new person to the show.
Fair enough. Well, as you know, we've been hustling and trying to get the show off the ground, and we need a talent rep. But to get a talent rep, we need a producer. So I found someone she's good at cracking skulls, and she's good at getting shows off the ground, and she's good at keeping people in check.
So, without any further ado, let's introduce Charlotte.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure.
Thanks, Charlotte. Barry, she already introduced herself. She's done introducing herself. Barry, we got a show to do here, man.
Okay.
You all right?
All right, yeah. I'm good. So for this episode, we wanted to do something that's near and dear to a lot of horror fans' hearts, and that is serial killers. Now, for some reason, and I think there's a real, like, deep-rooted psychological reason for this, like, people are obsessed with serial killers. So why do you think that is?
So I think it's one of those things where it's, like, so horrific, so frightening, it goes against the moral code of humanity, but why are we so hooked? Why are we so shocked yet can't turn away. Why can't we turn away?
Well, I think part of it is, life necessitates death. Murder is one of the ways that death happens, and like the just most brutal, disturbing thing to think about is someone committing multiple murders, being a serial killer.
There's just the sense that they're doing it to do it. Not because they want the money, not because they want to off this guy for X or Y reason, or for political gain, or for power. And a lot of them end up getting caught just because they just can't help themselves and are addicted to it. They're addicted to the lifestyle. They're addicted to killing. It's a rush.
So before we start talking about movies, let's talk about some real life serial killers. We know some of the main ones: Jack the Ripper, Ted Bundy.
Not to be confused with Al Bundy from Married with Children.
But Andy, since you really enjoy this topic, why don't you talk about a couple of our all-star serial killers?
Yeah, what is so creepy about this guy is what he did with the dead. His name is Ed Gein.
Oh,
he's a big one.
Plainsfield Psycho.
The Plainsfield Butcher. Butcher of
Plainfield.
Yeah, so not only did he kill people, just two, I mean, really not that bad. Confirmed. But he would dig up, exhume is the word, exhume corpses from graveyards and take the bodies and make, pottery, furniture, masks, hats, you name it. His area of activity was the 50s, back when it was like America was this, upright, uptight, uppity place where nothing like this could ever happen. The town's like in shock. They're pretty blown away. They thought this guy, the guy was a little weird or whatever, but he wasn't like that weird. Something a little off about him. But also in Psycho, the novel was very much influenced by him. The novel was published in 1959, the movie the year later in 1960, the Hitchcock classic, obviously. Anthony Perkins playing the character. There were a lot of differences, but there were a lot of similarities where he was obsessed with his mother. His mother died and left him alone, and he built a shrine to his mother, like a living room with a rocking chair, and kept this room as the shrine. He worshipped her, but she also put him down and belittled him and demasculinized, I think that's the word, him. So it was kind of this love-hate where, and this is a pattern in a lot of killers, where they were demeaned and demoralized or beaten by their parents or whomever. They were bullied, and then something finally snapped. But Ed Gein, he pretty much just lost his mind after his mother died and literally dug up her body. And, yeah, pretty crazy stuff. Takes Mama's Boy to the next level.
It does. It does. Now, in the Bloody Bonus segment, which is for our special viewers, we'll go into some more serial killer type stuff. Really want to go into Dahmer. To me, Dahmer is just unbelievably, morbidly fascinating. Go into some John Wayne Gacy, our favorite clown, John Wayne Gacy.
The killer clown. The original killer clown.
The original killer
Before
clown.
they went to outer space.
And now, everyone, back with us is Mr. Jose Prendes.
Yeah.
So, Jose, you scoured what was on Shudder.
Yes.
And came up with some of your favorite stuff.
All right, so I got 3 movies here. 3 of my favorites, and they're available on Shudder. And if you haven't seen them, you have to see them. But most likely you have seen them, but they deserve a rewatch. I'm gonna start off with Basket Case.
Oh,
Movie.
good old Belial.
Yes, Belial and Dwayne, twin brothers, on a mission to just sort of live their life, and it's a very sweaty, grindhousey type of movie, and I think that's kind of Frank's style of filmmaking.
You're right. I mean, it's really, really gritty. It's like got that New York late 70s, early 80s just grit.
What's in the basket? My brother. Your brother!
And that's like what we were talking about sort of in the extra footage. If you guys are on Patreon, you'd see that extra footage. We were talking about how some movies don't deserve a Blu-ray because it kind of ruins their authenticity.
Yeah.
This is a movie that it doesn't need to be cleaned up and 5K'd or whatever the heck. Just leave it the way it is. It's supposed to look like that. Next up is a classic, The Tingler. William Castle's The Tingler with Mr. Vincent Price. And one of his most understated performances until the end, then he gets a little wackier. It's famous for what he would do to the theaters playing the movie. He would rig the seats with buzzers. So during certain parts of the movie, that people would like jump because he'd be buzzing the seats.
It was in Tingler Vision.
Yeah, oh god, I forget the name of it now. No, not Emergo. I think Emergo was House on Haunted Hill. But something like that. Yeah, it was. He had a name for it. I got to watch it at the Silent Movie Theater here in Los Angeles with the seats buzzed. And they had actors coming in. They had a nurse taking one of the audience members away because the audience member start screaming. It was an actor. It was a shill, but that was part of the fun. My third movie is a slasher. It's one of my favorites, and it's The House on Sorority Row.
Ooh.
This is a phenomenal movie. Not look at the cover. It looks like a cheesy kind of cheesecake, naked girls in the shower kind of movie. And to a degree it is, but it's also very serious whodunit. Fantastically, well made for a movie that shouldn't be as entertaining as it is.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal movie. It's got great kills. It's got a really engrossing storyline, and I think it's probably one of the best slashers to come out, in that period. I feel that formative year. It's one of my favorites. So I recommend that one.
Absolutely. And as people who have listened to some of my previous stuff before know, whodunits are my absolute favorite.
Right.
When I was a kid, it was Scooby-Doo and horror movies. So I
there
love
you go.
The whodunit aspect.
Yeah.
All right, Jose, thanks so much for letting us know for those 3 gems that are on Shudder. Hopefully you can stick around for the Bloody Bonus segment.
Yes, I'm gonna be there. Thank you guys for watching.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Andy, leave Rizzo alone. He's not having a very good year.
He's a bobblehead. That's what bobbleheads do. They bobble their
He's
head.
the embodiment of Anthony Rizzo, first baseman for the Chicago Cubs. Last year's World Series champion. I cried when they won. I cannot believe the Cubs have just won the World Series. Thank you so much. But let's get back to the subject of our topic.
Yes, more nerdy
topic,
stuff,
the subject of our
less
topic,
sporty.
Topic,
so much
I guess?
sports. I mean, it was supposed to be about nerds.
Okay,
Nerds don't like
so
sports.
Serial killers.
All
Let's
right.
be nerdy about serial killers.
Let's do this.
So earlier in, I want to say segment 2, or what we call segment 2, we talked about some real life serial
You call it
killers.
nothing. You don't call it at all.
But
You just experience it as it happens.
this is a podcast for mainly horror movies, so let's talk about some serial killer movies. What's some of your favorites?
So, obviously, a lot of killer movies. But I kind of narrowed it down to what I call the unholy trinity
Yeah?
of serial killer movies.
I would say Psycho and then Silence of the Lambs.
Arms around me, Wolfie, hold me tight. All your might. Won't you roll those eyes?
And the third... Excuse me. Barry, we're doing a show here.
Oh,
Hello.
yeah. Ed? Psycho?
So we have Silence of the Lambs, Psycho, and I like to include the lesser known but very important to me, Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Because I think it's just a nasty, gritty
Movie's so
look
good.
at a killer. And what a gross movie. You need a shower when you're done watching it.
You do. You
It's-
really do need a shower.
Michael Rooker is amazing.
But speaking of, Michael Rooker is amazing.
Ugh.
But speaking of shower, Psycho, I mean, that
yes.
probably is the most iconic scene ever in a horror movie.
I really feel that Psycho brought horror into the house, into the hotel, and into the bathroom.
It was a motel, not a hotel.
God. All right, sorry. We'll edit that part out so I sound more knowledgeable.
No, we'll keep that in.
Jerk. But anyway, so Psycho, we can talk about Psycho a lot, but I really feel that Henry, which is on Amazon Prime right now, it's dirty, it's gross, and I think the tragic character is really Otis and the sister.
Becky,
played by Tracy Arnold, who is amazing. It was kind of a tragic look into like seeing a killer work his way into a home and seeing it just kind of break down.
A few things that I want to say about Henry. There's this one scene in particular that to me is so striking. There's the broken TV, and then there's the new TV on top of it.
Right.
And then Otis and Henry are watching the video of them in the triple homicide, and they watch it, and then Otis starts replaying it and going frame by frame.
Yeah.
And the camera just kind of pushes in on that.
Oh, and the audio's like...
Yes.
The scream in like slow-mo.
I think
it's
that
creepy.
just image is so striking. Do you really think that Henry had an abused childhood? Because there's that moment where they leave it open, where he's talking about shooting his mom, and then Becky's like, wait, I thought you said you stabbed her.
Right.
And he's like,
he's a little unclear.
I stabbed her.
She must have treated you real bad.
You the whore.
Yeah. So I could take that one of two ways. That yes, he's kind of, his psychosis is blurring his memories of his past, and who knows what's going on, if that really happened, if maybe he's making that all up to kind of justify his... But I feel like that really did happen, because I felt like that's something he's probably not proud of, and he wants to like say. He doesn't want to like walk around and be like, oh yeah, I killed my mom. Like she brings it up that Otis told her, and he's like, oh wait, what? Oh yeah, guess I did.
Yeah.
Guess I did kill her. And then maybe he stabs, he ropes, and I think it was even in the trailer. It's like if you kill one guy with a rope and you stab another guy and you punch another guy in the face till he's dead, then the cops don't know what's up.
Yeah.
Because if you have a modus operandi, this is the one way you do it. And they even use the word modus operandi, and he tells Otis.
What makes their job so much easier? A pattern. What they call a modus operandi. That's Latin.
So I feel like maybe he just changes the way he kills people in every instance of him killing somebody, and then he gets all garbage.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can't use a gun, just don't use the same gun twice.
Okay, so let's move on to the Academy Award winning Silence of the Lambs. I mean, I'm not
mainstream in the limelight horror.
Yes, no, I'm not dogging the movie at all. I mean, actually, I love the movie. I think it's brilliant.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
I rewatched it a few days ago, and it opens and it says, like, on the screen, it says, Woods near Quantico. And it made me think of Scream Queens Season 2,
Oh, nice.
Denise Hemphill.
This is what I learned at Quantico. And by watching movies about Quantico, and from the hit TV show Quantico.
So anyway, back to Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs. It's a very good film. Berries. Berries, how many times have you seen Silence of the Lambs?
And Andy?
There's no Andy here, Berries. Stick with me.
I
Stick with me, Berries.
I just came to Plum Island to see how you're doing, Doctor.
How was the drive-in? What did you have for lunch? I smell something. Something funny wafting from your direction.
Doctor?
Fast food, perhaps?
Doctor, I don't.
McDonald's, Mickey D's.
I don't feel comfortable about that,
Berries.
Doctor.
Mickey D's is bad for you, Berries.
Doctor,
it will eventually kill you.
It was Arby's.
You're
Doctor.
one happy meal away from death, Berries.
I had
maybe 3.
I had a roast beef sandwich, Doctor, with some curly fries and some ketchup. The
No,
ketchup
no.
was in one of those.
You are lying, Berries.
Little
Berries,
ramekins.
do not lie to me. I can see through you.
Okay.
Like a pane of glass.
Doctor, I had jalapeno poppers.
Good evening, I'm Chase Conroy. I'll be doing the sports this evening because our normal sportscaster has been brutally murdered, decapitated. His head was mailed to our office. It was quite a sight to see. Awful, terrible, exciting, exhilarating, and a bit tantalizing.
What's in the box?
Murdered by the estranged from the law Jason. He's also run away with my wife. I'm not very happy about that. And I don't really want to become a part of the news, so I'm not going to share that story with you in detail. So right on to sports. The Haddonfield Hatties defeated the Springwood Sharks by a score of 3-2. It was an exciting game, full of twists and turns, and even an argument that erupted into an execution of the manager. Earlier today, the Potter's Bluff Diggers demolished the Woodsbury Wolverines by a score of about 13-12.
All right, can we
It was an amazing...
Ma'am, you can't come in here. Ma'am, you can't just come in here and...
My son, Jason, my son is still on the run, and I want to know what you are going to do about it.
Well, I recommend you call my wife. Apparently she knows exactly where he is. It's really frustrating and upsetting to me, and I'm sorry that you're bringing this up now in the middle of the sportscast. It's literally the most important part of the day.
My son, Jason, is a virgin. He's a virgin. He would never endeavor in such affairs. Having an affair. How dare you accuse my boy of running away with your wife? You and all those fat cats. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it.
Are we gonna get her out of here, or...?
Yes, right away, sir. Ma'am, you're gonna have to come with me.
Get away from me. I will go on my own. I will go on my own.
That's it for me, Chase Conroy, signing off. I hope tonight is filled with horrible, horrible dreams and terrible nightmares. Have a good evening.
And now, the top 10.
I want to introduce our new producer for the Horror Geeks, Charlotte OHara. Thank you so much for coming, Charlotte.
Thank you for having me.
And gracing us with some femininity. Although I have a little, but not as much as you.
You have a little bit.
It's more Barry.
Let's be
really.
real.
It's more Barry.
Barry has a little as well. But everyone needs to embrace their feminine side a little bit, but I'm embracing my dead side today.
Okay.
And I'm here to talk about some of my favorite horror movies.
So what's slot 10?
So I guess starting from 10, I would say The Phantom of the Opera, and I was lucky enough to see a version of that recently, about a year ago, at the Nethercutt Museum in Sylmar, which is a great place. If you've never been there, you should really check it out. They have a whole car collection, and they actually have an organ collection, and they have one of the largest pipe organs, I think in the country, maybe the world.
Oh, wow.
They had a live organist
It's so cool.
perform the whole score on this huge, amazing, beautiful organ. So the pipes were all in the walls around the room.
Wow. That must have been really scary.
It was really scary and amazing.
Yeah, and amazing, kind of scary.
Number 9, I would say probably The Shining.
That's one of my favorites, near and dear to me. Have you read the book?
I have, yeah.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
the book is great.
Yeah,
I can't believe that
book's a
King
must-read.
doesn't like the Kubrick version. It still kind of baffles me. What's your favorite element of The Shining?
I love Shelley Duvall, just all around. Before I had even seen The Shining, I saw the live action Popeye movie with her.
So good, with Robin Williams.
Yeah, with Robin Williams.
Oh, yeah.
So
She's
I
Olive
already
Oil.
was in love.
I love Popeye.
Barry, you want to just come and do the show, like at the desk, like we're supposed to?
No. That's okay. Go on.
Are you sure you don't want to come over here?
No, that's okay.
You seemed like you had some stuff you wanted to say real bad.
Let him go.
Okay.
He's being weird.
It would be Frankenhooker.
Incredible.
Some assembly may be required.
There's this kind of mad scientist guy. He's like a science nerd. And he's engaged to this beautiful blonde woman. He presents a present, and the gift goes haywire and actually runs over the fiance and just sprays her body all over the place.
You're on your way, Chuck. Don't stand in front of it!
The scientist decides that he has to recreate his fiance, and he believes that he has the scientific knowledge to do that. But he needs a lot more body parts. He decides that the best way to get those body parts is to recruit a bunch of local prostitutes to party with him. So he goes and inspects all the ladies. He brings them to a party. He creates in his lab this souped up cocaine. So they're all having a party and getting crazy, taking their clothes off, and then bam, 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 all their heads start to explode.
Hey, Andy, we gotta cut. I gotta talk to you outside right now.
Barry, we're doing a segment.
No, it's got to be right now.
I think she might be a succubus. Barry, she's my friend. She's offered herself to come over here. Look, you're overworked. You are overworked and you're tired. That's it. You're watching too many horrors. You're not sleeping. She's not a succubus.
Wow. That's another episode.
Can you believe it? 2 down already?
2 down. It's so much fun, and it seems like it goes by so fast.
Too fast.
Now, Andy, you gotta promise me not to sacrifice anyone, at least for a few more episodes.
All right. Well, in like a couple more months, if there isn't some traction here, the body count might start mounting. Let's just put it that way.
Andy?
Hello, fresh face.
That's you with a little help from Maybelline. Fresh and lovely kissing potion. Fine makeup sensibly priced.